Hey, you're here with your girl Shawnee J from RPMHD. We're here at the 2016 NHRA Winter Nationals. We've been up here talking to some amazing drivers, getting a lot of good footage for you guys out here. We talked to some champions such as Antron Brown, JR Todd. We've been speaking with some really great guys. We're going to get some great footage for you, and if you're tuned in, you guys won't miss a thing. Can you smell the nitro? We're over here getting loaded. It's off the hook. Don't miss a beat. 3-day event. Come now. NHRA 2016 Winter Nationals.
So Pro Stock has gone through a lot of changes this year. They've gotten rid of their hood scoop, and they've also changed the EFI. We've talked with some of the teams about their challenges and their expectations for this year. Take a look.
Hey, I'm Tesh with RPMHD, coming to you live from the 2016 NHRA Winter Nationals here in Pomona, California. I'm here with Jed Coughlin. Thanks so much for giving us a second of your time. I know your division has recently underwent a few changes. How difficult has it been switching from carburetor to the electronic fuel injection?
Well, it's a great enhancement. Really happy with the NHRA. Going to the electronic fuel injection. It's been a long time coming. We've talked about it for a long time, but to the point, it took a lot of time and research and development. First off, on the computer models that we work with, and then second off, getting some R&D manifolds made. We had to get all the new parts from Holley, who's the only supplier for all the throttle bodies and the injectors and the ignition itself. So it was most of the writing was on the wall. So once we got all the parts and got some things tested on the dyno, we were able to work a few things out, and then we went to the track and the car seemed like it idled well, seemed like it wanted to drive well, and then it was just a matter of getting some more balance on the air-fuel mixtures to make this 500-inch Hemi happy. And we're really happy with the new fuel injection program. We're new to it, and feel like certainly over the coming runs and coming races, we're going to be improving quite a bit.
Nice. And I know that you also have some changes that are affecting your visibility.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest change in the new rules package. The biggest change in the new rules package is probably the max RPM limit. We're now limited to 10,500 RPMs, and we were pretty far past that at over 11,000 RPMs. But back to the EFI point, that one of the benefits of not having the carburetor sticking through the hood with that tall manifold and a big ugly hood scoop was, it's not ugly, but I mean, once you see these cars without the hood scoops, I mean, they look really cool. They rival their Detroit counterparts. And when I'm in the left lane, which I was for the first time in my career here in Pomona, without a hood scoop, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm sitting on my living room couch hitting the tree. So, I told the crew chiefs I don't have a whole lot of reason to miss a tree in that left lane anymore. It's a great view, and it's been a really, it's gone over really well with the fans thus far. I've been pleased to hear that as well.
Awesome. So that sounds like a double win. You're loving it, and the fans are loving it.
Absolutely. Everybody's a winner, right?
I love it. So of all the changes that have went on in your division, which would you say has affected your car or your driving the most?
Well, the EFI definitely, the way the throttle position is and the amount of input and what you receive back from it has changed. But, that's something we adapted to pretty quickly in testing. But I think performance-wise, probably the largest impact is certainly that max rev limit. And, our team engineers that working on the engines, I'd say by year end we'll probably get back up to where our lapse times, and maybe not quite the speeds that we were, but we'll see.
Awesome. It's all about adjustments.
It is.
So if you could pick this awesome car up and take it anywhere in the world outside of the U.S., where would you take it?
Wow.
That's a random question. I just came
That
up
is
with.
very random. Outside the U.S., I'd probably go to Australia. We've got a lot of friends and a lot of fans over there, and drag racing is very popular there. So I do have a goal to visit the land down under, as they say, and make it down the drag strip, even if it's in a rental car.
Ditto. Hopefully I get to interview in Australia.
Let's
That would
go.
be great. Okay, guys, well, you heard it here first. Again, I'm Tesh with RPMHD, here today with Jeg Coughlin, and we wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Erica Enders, thanks so much for letting us get a couple questions in with you. Okay, so I know your division has recently underwent a lot of changes, primarily the change from carburetor to fuel injection.
Yes, ma'am.
How has that affected your car when you're driving?
It's definitely different, that's for sure. You know, we got to keep in mind that I've been driving a carbureted Pro Stock car for 12 years. So to get in and have your whole entire sequence change is definitely challenging. It's not harder, it's just different, something to get used to. So I guess the biggest differences are the throw and the throttle pedal, like how far you have to push it. It's really, really sensitive, easy to push. So that changes our procedure for the burnout and for staging. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same as last year. Cars are running a little slower because everybody's kind of trying to get used to all of the new rule changes. But we'll get it under our belt and do some good here pretty soon.
Awesome. And I know that your visibility is affected a little bit by the change with the hood scoops. What are your thoughts on that?
It's definitely different. I've never had an open view before. I've always had a hood scoop or a blower in front of me. So actually yesterday here in the left lane was the first time that I've not had to like lean around the hood scoop to see the Christmas tree. So I had the best seat in the house when I let the clutch out in the car. So that's definitely really cool. But then going into the right lane, the way these Dodge Darts are built, we're sitting so far back, the windshield is so far forward that A-pillar is right in the line of the Christmas tree when you're in the right lane, so you're kind of having to lean over that way. So we got an advantage in the left lane and kind of went back a little bit in the right lane, but it's all good. I'm excited for the year.
Awesome. Yeah, it's all about adjustments. Speaking of your Dodge, I know in the previous years you were racing in a Chevy. How has the change and the transition from Chevy to Dodge?
I've driven for Dodge before in the past, in 2006 and 2007, so it's nice to be back a part of the Mopar family. Having said that, we had to do a lot of work this off-season. We built 2 brand new race cars at Rick Jones' shop in Illinois, my car and Jeg's car over there, but they're 2 state-of-the-art pieces, so everybody was just really busy building new race cars. We put a whole new team together, hired new employees, got everybody trained, you know, and then, of course, the fuel injection switchover, 10,500 RPM limiter, which is pretty significant. That's why the cars are going so much slower. So we had all of these changes to accommodate to, and it's definitely been a very busy off season. We said the off part of it was not associated with it at all this year.
That makes sense, especially with the changes. But good, you seem happy about all of them.
I am. I think we have a lot to look forward to. It's definitely a positive partnership with Mopar, and then adding Jeg Coughlin as my teammate. He's probably one of the best drivers Pro Stock's ever seen. So I'm really proud to have him racing alongside of us here at Elite Motorsports, and we're gonna have a fun year regardless of what happens.
Nice. Well, I can't let you get away from here without, first of all, thanking you for inspiring so many young girls by not only competing, but winning some of your races. Some people may not know, but there's a Disney film that has something to do with your background.
Right.
Can you elaborate on it just a little bit?
Sure. They still actually play it on the Disney Channel. It's called Right on Track. It's a movie about my sister and I's junior drag racing career. Junior dragsters are, you know, smaller, slower cars that kids from 8 to 17 can drive. They've now recently changed the minimum age to 5, so kids can get started even earlier now. So that movie's been out for about 12 or 13 years now, but they still play it. I still get a lot of really great fans out here that have seen the movie, never been to a drag race, and came out because of it. So it's been great for our sport and a lot of fun for me.
Awesome, especially for women in the sport. And you still have people like me asking you questions about it. So clearly it's still very relevant.
I love it. Thank
Awesome.
you.
You're defending your title this year.
Yep.
What's your mindset going into this?
My mindset is to keep my mindset the same as it was the last couple of years, because it obviously worked for us. You know, we've kind of beat the changes into the ground there, but it's definitely a different year. It's going to be an uphill battle and very challenging. But if anybody can do it, it's my guys. I have all the faith in the world in them, and I put my money on us. So we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be tough, like I said, but I'm very excited for the opportunity.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, and lastly, if there's anywhere that you can pick up and take this awesome new Dodge of yours and race it, where would you take it?
Anywhere?
Anywhere outside the U.S.
I've really been wanting to race in Australia. So
You guys should both go there, and I should interview while you're in Australia.
there you go. Company trip, right?
Right. But Thank you so much. Again, guys, you heard it here. RPM HD coming to you from the Winter Nationals here with the awesome Erica Enders. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Connie Jo Seekers with RPM HD, and we are here at the Winter Nationals with Alan Johnson. Now, Alan, how's the run gone so far?
You know, we're 7th right now. I think we was 5th after the first round, so we'd like to move up 2 or 3 spots, make a little better run today.
Okay. And how has it been from switching from carburetor to fuel injection?
Been a challenge for everyone, I think, and but you know, we got some smart guys on this marathon team, and we're going to go out there and move up a few spots and hopefully be in the top 5.
Awesome. Now, there's been a lot of changes. Even the hood scoop is gone now. How's the vision with the hood scoop gone?
You go up to the starting line and think, wow, I can see. So it's a lot better. You're not looking over that big, enormous scoop.
Now, I heard that you were kind of struggling to get sponsorship for this year. How was that?
Well, you know, Mopar went off in a different direction, and we ended on a good note last year and probably ready to hang it up if we didn't find sponsorship. But Marathon Petroleum Corporation come through for us and got us back on the track this year, and they're a great company and I think going to be a great sponsor.
Awesome. So if you didn't get it, you were just not going to race this year? You weren't going to sponsor yourself?
Probably not. I've done this for 20 years, went out on a good note if I had to go out, won the last race last year. So we didn't really want to, but I think we were okay with it if it had happened. But you know what? It didn't, so we're back.
Great. And what do you love the most about racing?
You know, having my family here with me, and my dad, he keeps him young, and you know, my mom travels with us, and it's just a great family deal, and the crew, everybody loves what we do, and it's just a tradition.
Very cool. And we have an interesting question for all the drivers right now. If you can take this car anywhere internationally, where would you take it?
You know, I was just in Costa Rica last week with Marathon on a convention, so we'd build a racetrack in Guanacaste, Costa Rica.
Nice. Very cool. Well, that's it. I'm Connie Jo Seeker with the RPMHD, and this is Alan Johnson.
Hey, I'm Tesh with RPMHD coming to you live from the 2016 NHRA Winter Nationals here in Pomona, California. I'm here with Jason Line. Thanks so much for giving us a second of your time.
Yeah, no problem.
First of all, I know you've had a bunch of changes in your division. How is it going from the carburetor to the electronic fuel injector?
Painful. So, yeah, it's just a lot of changes. So for us, I'm a carburetor guy anyway, so for me it's especially painful. But it's been interesting. I've learned a lot of stuff. So and so far so good. So you know, it's a lot of changes to the car, but you know, I haven't made a carburetor on a production car in 30 some odd years. So it was time, and so we're all sort of embracing the change, and it's been fun.
Awesome. Well, you seem to be adjusting well.
Yeah, I mean we've had worse days. So yeah, we're 1, 2, and 3 our 3 cars. So 2 Summit cars on top. So that makes me pretty happy.
And how about the visibility and the hood scoop? How are you feeling about those changes?
Well, I can wave at the fans now. They can see a lot of stuff that I couldn't see before. So honestly, I don't really pay attention to that part of it, but it's definitely different, but not bad. So it's kind of nice to be able to see where you're going.
So of all the changes that have went on in your division recently, which would you say have affected your car or your driving the most?
The biggest thing is, we didn't used to have a rev limiter, and now we have a rev limiter, which I despise. But there was unlimited. You could rev the engine as high as you wanted to, and now we have a 10,500 RPM rev limit, which is still fairly high, but nothing compared to where we were. So it's a little bit. That's been a big adjustment for us.
Okay, awesome. And what are you most excited about this race with the start of this season?
Winning. So yeah, we need to win the race. There's only one first-time winner, so it'd be really cool if it was one of our cars anyway. So.
Well, who doesn't like winning? So I have a random question. If you could pick up this awesome car and drive it anywhere in the country and race it, where would it be?
Drive home. So I don't know. I love California. My wife's from California, but I live in North Carolina, and I'm pretty partial to North Carolina right now. So I'd probably drive back there. Maybe not today because it's supposed to snow, but maybe like next week we'll drive back there.
Yeah, you definitely want to wait for the weather to change on the East Coast.
The weather here, it's been super nice all weekend.
I concur.
Yeah, very nice.
You've heard it here, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to RPMHD. We're here with Jason Lyon. We're wishing you so much luck. Thank you.
So if you guys didn't see, Vincent Noble was in a incident where he drifted and hit the wall. He is okay. We tried to follow up with him afterwards, but he was getting checked up. But we did happen to get an interview with him before the crash about his expectations before the season. So let's see what he had to say.
And how has your runs been going so far?
Pretty good. First run, we did really well. We were number 2 qualifier, but unfortunately our fuel didn't pass tech. For whatever reason, they gave us a bad batch of fuel, but, it happens. Kind of got set behind the 8 ball, but here we are now. I think we're number 5 after Q3, and, there's definitely room for improvement.
And how has it been switching from, carburetor to electrical fuel?
It's been more of a learning curve for the guys tuning on it more so than me, but there's a little bit of difference in drivability, but, I'm doing my best to acclimate, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
And also, I heard that the hood scoop, right, was taken off this year. How was that for you?
You know what? Honestly, driving with it for all those years, I kind of never really even paid attention to it. It wasn't really that massive to really get in the way of anything, so with it not there, it's almost as if it's been like that the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, anyways. I don't know.
And, what got you into racing? What got you into motorsports?
My father, John, he raced pro stock my whole life growing up, so kind of just following in his footsteps.
Very cool. And what are your expectations for this year's season?
Very high. I'm driving a really good race car. This is Erica's championship car from last year. There's no reason why we can't win a bunch of races this year. We got a great team behind us. Our Mountain View guys, the elite guys, the Skillman's there, between us and Jeggy as well. There's a lot of information to take at each race, and, between all the brains, I think we're going to do really good.
Cool. And last question, if you can take your car anywhere internationally and race it, where would it be?
Oh, man. Somewhere tropical. I love the heat. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. Good luck on your runs, and we'll see you. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Hi, it's your girl Stephanie Morin-Shigeni coming to you from the NHRA 2016 Winter Nationals. Right here I have Greg Anderson right next to me. I know that you have the fastest car, but last year you didn't come out first. How do you think that'll play in this year?
Well, that definitely stings when you do have the fastest car and you don't win. That puts it back on the driver. I didn't get the job done as a driver, so it's on me. I still got a great car. I still got a fast car, so I've got to do a better job driving. And I think I've worked on that over the winter, and I feel confident. I feel great. Things are going well so far. So we just need to parlay that all season long, and especially into the championship chase. That's kind of where things fell apart last year. I had the strongest car going in really during the countdown, and I didn't get the job done as a driver. So it's all up here. You just got to get strong mentally, and I plan to do that this year.
Yes. So it seems like you're really determined. The determination factor is actually playing a real big key factor for it this year. Am I correct?
Absolutely. I don't like to lose. I love to win. I don't like to lose, and I don't know that I'm a sore loser, but I don't like to lose. So I got to find a way to get back to the winner's circle and get that number 1 back on my car at the end of the year. And I'm going to do everything I can under my power to get it done, and I'm not going to be satisfied if I don't do it.
Yeah, I can see the determination in your eyes, most definitely. Also, now that you guys are no longer using carburetors, yes, carburetors, and now you're going to fuel injections, how has the transition been for you?
Well, it's been a little rough, and it's been a very steep learning curve for us. We didn't really know anything about fuel injection. I didn't know how to spell fuel injection, to be honest. I knew nothing about it. Certainly don't know how to run a laptop like you need to do here. So we're all learning very fast. It's been a very, very busy winter, but a very productive winter. We've gained a lot of ground since we started. There's still a lot to learn. We're just scratching the surface at what these things should be able to do. So I think, where we're at right now, we're kind of satisfied, but we know we can't stop. We got to keep digging. We got to keep going forward. We got to find a way to make more power with them. And, that's the fun of it. It's a new challenge for us. And if you can't embrace a new challenge, you probably shouldn't be out here. We love that. We consider that as a great new opportunity to do something special and to get an advantage again. So we're not gonna rest on what we've got. We've got great cars right now, but they're gonna need to be faster going on down the road, or they'll get passed by. So you got to keep digging.
Yes. I also see that there's also some other new transitions that have been made to your vehicles. Something in the back is gone now that gives more visibility. Would you like to speak on that?
Well, we used to have a big old hood scoop on top to get all the air into the engine, and we did away with that. It makes the cars look a little more sleeker, makes them look a little more like a stock vehicle. makes the driver be able to see a whole lot more. You couldn't see a whole lot with that hood scoop out there. So a new challenge, a new deal, but it's definitely better. The cars look sleeker, they look cleaner. They should be better aerodynamically also, so you don't have that big hood scoop drawing the car down. So it's just another opportunity to do something different, and I hope the fans like the appeal of the new car, the new looking car. We like it so far, and as a driver, being able to see better is always a good thing. As long as you don't look too many things, you don't get too distracted. So got to guard against too many distractions. But the bottom line is, you should have better vision to that Christmas tree, which should give you better reactions on that light. And a lot of these races are determined on who sees that light the best.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Hey, it's your girl Stephanie Moore coming to you from the MSD trailer. Right here next to me, I have Joe. Joe, would you tell us a little bit about your products that you offer?
Sure. We develop product for the race cars here. We basically, every race car on the grounds here has an MSD, from Top Fuel all the way to Sportsman guys. We power all their cars. We have a list of products here. We're here to help them. If they break down, they can come over and we can help them out. We can test their products, and I'm going to show you what's on the big fast cars, our Pro Mag 44s. You're going to see what those are like when they're going down the racetrack.
Awesome. So you pretty much do a lot. I mean, it seems like without you, the cars wouldn't be running. Is that what you're pretty much trying to say?
Pretty much. Our company's here. We got 18 companies under one trailer, and they've got something on their car from our company.
Awesome. So if you're a racer and you like to race, MSD is pretty much the company to know about.
I would hope so. I mean, we do ignitions, and that's all we specialize in is ignitions. We make ignition boxes, distributors, coils, spark plug wires, timing accessories. If it has to do with ignition, we're the only ones that do that.
Well, this has been A Moment with Joe. This is MSD's trailer. Stop on through sometime.
I had the chance to catch up with the 16-time Funny Car champion, John Force, about his expectations about this season. Let's see what he had to say.
Hi, this is Connie Jo Sequers with RPMHD, and I am here at the Winter Nationals with the man himself, John Force. How are you doing today, John?
Well, right now testing's going good. All our cars are Top Fuel with Brittany with Monster. They're all qualified. One more round to go. Robert Height is second. I think I'm fourth or fifth. Courtney's second or third. She's up at the top. So no complaints here. It's the Winter Nationals. Going to be racing here on Valentine's Day. Don't forget that day to the one you love.
Yes, very, very true. And how has it been transitioning to the Alan Johnson equipment?
Yeah, AJ, I've won 16 championships, 18 as a team owner. AJ, he's right up there in the top with us. You know what I mean? But we're Funny Cars and he's Top Fuel. So, he's done it all, and we addressed him. I said, my car's struggling, and Mike Neff and Robert Height spoke with him, and he said, I'll run this Top Fuel car. Teamed up that he's going to be a consultant with the team, and he also does the same thing for Capco with Steve Torrance. So we got a two-car team. That way we can work off of each other and the technology and engineering. And so at the end of the day, Brian Husen is our crew chief. He's kind of the quarterback. Alan's the coach, and we'll see where it goes from here. But Brittany's really excited in that monster car. They're putting big numbers out there.
Yeah, and how proud are you that your daughters are doing so well?
Well, my girls, when girls went into racing, I thought, well, I don't know how this is going to go, but it's what they wanted since they were 16. After they got through college, they'd come up to the ranks, in Super Comp and A-Fuel and then into the pros, and they're really doing well. I can't complain, but you're always proud of your children, no matter what they do. And, Courtney's going to be fine. She's got a big future. Brittany, she'll be fine. And Courtney with Traxxas, myself with Peak, and Robert Height with Auto Club. We're all Chevrolets, but Ashley will be back. She's going to come back, not yet. Got two grandsons. She stepped out of the seat. She won Indy 2 years in a row. I've never done that. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens.
That's awesome, John. And what are your expectations for the rest of the season?
Going out there and win. First, I got to get those flowers for my beautiful wife, Lori. When I get that done, so I don't do what I did last year and be on the couch all year. But she's great. She helped me build this operation. She was a real backbone in the early days. Wrote the contracts, mixed the nitro, backed the Funny Car up, drove the truck, packed the parachutes. A great woman. Educated. She went to San Diego State. but she's the one that's kept this family together because if it would have been left to me, I would have screwed it up.
That's very sweet. And John, what got you into racing in the first place?
Well, I liked football in school, and I had polio as a kid. My right leg was a little smaller. I quarterbacked 3 years in high school, and when I got to college, I realized there was no future for me. I realized that. And my uncle was racing in funny cars and dragsters and said, hey, get a funny car to do the running for you. And I did, and it's been taking care of this old man for a lot of years.
So it's been within the family for pretty much generations.
We're over, four generations. I mean, I've been out here since 66, 67, and that's 40, 45 years. But I love it. Now my kids are here. This is the 50 year of NHRA of funny car, and I'll be here in the next 50. It's not going to be pretty, but I'll be here. I hope.
Well, you are awesome, John. You are the man, and good luck with your run.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We also caught up with funny car drivers Cruz Pentagon and also had a sit down with Tim Wilkerson. Let's see what they had to say about their expectations about this season.
Hi, this is Connie Joe with RPMHD. We are here at the Winter Nationals with Cruz Pentagon. How are you doing today, Chris?
Doing good this morning. It's a beautiful morning here in sunny Southern California, getting ready for first round.
Yeah, and so you had a little struggle with the car last year. What did you do differently during the Phoenix testing to get it up and running?
Well, we made some changes, try to get better, but when in doing so, we discover things that we didn't account for. Like, main thing we changed on the Snap-on car is we changed the plumbing. We weren't quite getting enough fuel into the engine. It was a high pressure system. So, in opening up the all the fuel lines and all the plumbing, we created an imbalance going into the engine. So, subsequently, we've been dropping cylinders, which means too much fuel in the engine floods a couple cylinders, so you lose power. And so we lost a lot of runs in Phoenix, but the good news is we think we're on the right track. Each run we learned something different, so hopefully, because we need 8 cylinders to compete and run with these guys and for this car to run to its potential. So that's really been our story here. The first part of 16 is our struggle with getting the cylinders to light and also get the plumbing right. But I think we're close. Hopefully we're real close.
Yeah, and what have you done specifically as a driver in order to improve your skills for this year?
Well, I'm also the owner and the tuner on the car, so a lot of my time gets spent, really in trying to study the data that we accumulated all last year. So, and I put a little time into my driving. Physical fitness has been one of the things I've worked on this year, and I feel good. A little lighter weight, leaner, meaner. But the main thing is just you got to have a fast horse. It's like I never known any jockey to win anything on a donkey, so you have to have a fast horse, which is what I try to focus on.
Cool. And with all these changes that you've made and improvements, what do you feel like is your mindset and expectation going into this season?
Well, our expectation's high. We want to get off to a fast start. We're notorious slow starters. We usually come on towards the end of the season, but we were doing all we can. As an owner, we're definitely spending the money, putting the money into the car and all the equipment. So we have great equipment. We have a good team, and so it's just a matter of working out all the wrinkles and getting our car right. And it's not there yet, but when it gets there, it'll be one of the top cars for sure.
Great. And besides the sport, what other sports do you enjoy watching or going to, or any kind of events?
Oh, I'm a big NFL fan. Love the NFL. The playoffs just ended, the Super Bowl, and I like tennis. Not really into other sports other than I follow a little bit of NASCAR. Some of my friends, I have some friends that are drivers out there, and I like nostalgia car racing. I'm trying to get them to change the name to old school instead of nostalgia. Nostalgia kind of has like a corny sound to it, but we have a 77 Trans Am Firebird replica of a 70s funny car that was called the California Charger. So that's something I like to do. I don't have an opportunity with my time restraints to really go out and and run it like I like to, but I enjoy that. So I'm a sick individual. I actually race for a living, and I have a hobby of racing, so I guess I can't get enough of it.
Can't get enough of it, and that's probably why you love and enjoy this sport.
That's right. Yeah, it's it's a great sport. It's I'm result oriented, and so are my teams and my sponsors. So you just have to consume yourself with it. That's really what I've done my whole career. This is my 25th year too, by the way, in pro nitro racing. So, it's not always fun. It's a lot of work, but it's gratifying if you can go out there and be one of the top teams, and that's what we strive to do.
Now, what got you into racing in the first place?
Well, my dad was a racer back in the 60s. He retired way before we were young enough. When I say we, my brothers and I, Tony, as you know, is in the Fox booth with NHRA now as a color analyst. So, it's just something that my dad did. I tell people all the time, had my dad been a pro bowler or a baseball player, that might have been what we followed. But we grew up around this sport, and these cars, how can you not like these cars? You come out here, the sound, the look of them, the smell, the excitement. We just fell in love with them at a young age. So, and I was fortunate to parlay that desire and that love of the cars into a career. So, I'm very fortunate, but we've had a lot of help along the way and some great owners and some great sponsors. So I just love what I do.
Now, Cruz, are you running the March meet?
Yes, we're going to be at the Bakersfield March meet. It's a great event. It's an event that's been around for, I think, 50-some years. It's one of the older events, and it's all the nostalgia cars all over the country. It's a prestigious race, to be a part of and to win, obviously. But yeah, those are two races I can go to. I can go to the March meet in March, and the Hot Rod Reunion in Bakersfield, which is in October. So, I don't have a lot of time with racing for a living and everything I do, but I enjoy it. So hey, stay tuned, check it out. It's a great race. It'll be over 30 nitro funny cars running over 250 miles an hour. Great event.
Well, thank you so much, Cruz.
Thank you.
Hi, it's your girl Stephanie Morin-Chigini coming to you with another RPMHD interview. Right next to me, I have none other than Tim Wilkerson. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good.
That's good, that's good. So, Tim, today you had one of your best runs of the weekend. How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, we struggled a little bit this weekend. I was a little behind the tune-up on Friday, but today it came around pretty good. And it actually hurt the motor on Q3, the first run today, and then we had to change motors. So, and we sat there the whole time after Gary Densham had his little accident where he got wrapped up in the net down there. So we didn't have a lot of turnaround time. So the guys did a great job, and the car came around well, and we went 396. So that was it ended up good.
In the past, you have opted out of doing testing before your races. What made you decide to do it different this year and actually do testing?
Well, the first thing, we have a new crew member, and if I probably would have had the same guys I had last year, I probably wouldn't have done it because it's mostly just some repetitious activities for them, But with a new guy, I thought, well, it'll be a good practice for him. And then I actually had a guy, Brian Hogue, who runs an alcohol car. He was wanting to get a license, so that kind of worked out for us too. We let him drive it for one day, and that really worked out well for the crew. Didn't work out so good for me in the car, but he did well, and we finally got him down the racetrack on Saturday. But funding-wise, we usually don't do testing. You're absolutely right. We just try to keep our junk in a pile and try to do the best we can on race day. And Saturday's usually my test day.
So after your crew gets all used to doing the basics, you're gonna go back to just not testing anymore. You're gonna do just the days of.
Probably will not test anymore this year. Now we do have a new car coming, and I'm gonna debut that car in Gainesville with any luck. I haven't had a new car since 2008, so we're very excited about getting a new car. This car that I have is, I don't know how many hundreds of runs it has on it, but it's showing signs of having problems. So we're excited to have a new car. I haven't decided whether we're going to just debut the car cold turkey and hope that it runs well, or if we're just going to stay there after Gainesville and test. So that may be the only other time we test this year, but yeah, that's unfortunately financially it's just not always in our cards to test.
So is your new car the same type of design?
No, it's completely different. Murph McKinney, who's built cars for everyone out here for the last 30 or 40 years, now Force and Schumacher both build their own cars. So Murph's business is a little bit backwards because of that. And I almost bought a John Force car, but I decided not to at the last minute, and I just let Murph loose. I told him, you do whatever you want to do, as queer as you want to make it, as different as you want to make it, you just have a ball. So I'm excited to see how it's going to end up because it's something he's never done before.
Awesome. So if you could go anywhere with your new car or your old car, where would you travel with it and why?
Well, I mean, we really been doing this for a long time. So I really don't get too wound up about any specific racetrack. You know what I mean? I've only not won at a few racetracks, and that's kind of a goal that we have before I want to quit. We've won 20 times, so but I'm hoping that the new car will give us the next step up because everybody else has the same type of car. But you know, really, I have no specific place that I'd take it. I'm happy to get it, and if Gainesville's the first race, then so be it.
Awesome. Well, this has been another RPM HD interview we have right here, Tim Wilkerson, and we thank you for your time.
Yep.
It is the second day of the 2016 Winter Nationals in Pomona, California. All right, we'll see you later.
Hi, this is Connie Joe with RPM HD. We are here at the Winter Nationals with Gary Dencham. Now, Gary, you had quite an experience yesterday on the track. Tell us a little bit about that and what your mindset was going through that crash.
Well, you know, the thing is it's nobody's fault. It's just things happen. You try and make stuff better, and sometimes it doesn't work exactly like you want. And long story short is the parachute wires didn't come out of the parachutes, and the parachutes didn't open. It's one of the shorter racetracks we have. You know, that's no excuse. It's a wonderful place to race at. And, you know, ended up in the sand trap, ended up in the net a lot harder than you'd like to. And, you know, it kind of ruined everything.
Now, what was your mindset when you knew that the mechanical failures were going on? What was going through your mind at that time?
Well, at the time, you're hoping that the sand's going to slow you down enough that it's not going to destroy the car and we could still race today, was the plan. Yeah. But when it skipped over the top of the sand and sailed into the net, kind of figured that deal was over with.
Yeah, so what are you guys doing to the car now that will maybe improve the technical difficulties next time?
Well, like I say, it's no problem. Our cars are so safe and so good, and the Safety Safari does such a dynamite job that, you know, I don't know how you could really improve on something. This was just a bit of bad luck, and you know, you'd like to say, you know, that somebody made a mistake, but I don't think so. It was just, it was like kind of winning the lottery in reverse.
What got you into drag racing?
I was dropped on my head as a very small child. I never quite recovered. No, I grew up in that era in the 60s where, you know, all the muscle cars were out there and everybody, you know, wanted a fast car, and it was pretty simple. You know, you played football on Friday night, you went to the drags on Saturday night, and you wanted to have the fastest car in school, and a lot of my friends, their parents had a lot of money, and so they got the brand new, you know, Corvettes and GTOs and 409s and all that sort of stuff, and you know, I didn't, so I had to learn how to build something I could beat them with. And so then you end up with the fastest car in school and the fastest car in town, and then you took it to the drags and found out it wasn't near as fast as you thought it was, so you better build something faster.
Very awesome. What do you like to do besides drag racing?
Well, I haven't figured that out yet.
You haven't figured it out yet?
No. I mean, my wife and I, we love to travel, and that comes with drag racing. That's how I learned that I like to travel, is because we've had such great opportunities to, you know, travel the country, travel the world. We've raced in Australia 17 times, and, you know, been to New Zealand, raced in Alaska, raced in Hawaii, and it kind of got in our blood a little bit. And since I don't get to race full time anymore, we've got to travel a little more, and that's great. But it still comes back to the fans and the people out here are just so unbelievably, you know, wonderful to be around that you'd hate to have to give this up.
And what do you think your expectations and your mindset for the rest of the season is?
Well, you know, it's like everything else. You play it one day, 1 minute at a time, and you keep working at it, and, you know, it'd be a horrible way to have to quit. You know, the total finances of everything out here is getting to a point where, you know, an independent like ourselves really has a hard time competing. But, you know, we did it again this weekend. We came out here, we made 3 really good runs. We outrun some of the high dollar cars with the major sponsors that race all year long, and kind of show that we can still be a pain in their side. Ultimately, to compete with the Forces and Schumachers and Colettas and stuff on a run-to-run basis, you can't. You know, you stand there, they're going to beat you to death. You know, it's that simple. You know, they're going to drop $100 bills on you until you collapse. It's that simple. But it's just kind of nice to come out and be able to compete. And like I say, the fans are the reason you come. The people are just so great out here, and, you know, they're with you when you're on top. They're with you when you got problems. What else can you ask for?
Well, thank you so much. I hope you guys can get the car back up and running, and see you at the next event.
It's going to be really sad today to watch somebody have a single that I wanted to whoop.
What's your preference between a modern-day funny car and a nostalgia funny car?
Well, you know, the modern day funny car is absolutely awesome. 10,000 horsepower, 320 miles an hour, and 1,000 feet. You know, what can you ask for? But the bottom line is the old nostalgia cars sure got a flair, and they're spectacular and they're fun. So who knows?
And will we see you at the March meet?
Oh, you better believe it.
Huge win here today. And tell us about this. Obviously, emotions run high for you racing here in pretty much your home track.
Yeah, a lot of family. My mom's 70th birthday was this week, so my wife's been working on for 3 months a surprise party for her at somebody's house about a mile from here. So we did that last night. It was just a lot of extra stuff going on, which Pomona always brings. But to kick the race off, knowing it was going to be on FS1 and the Fox Sports channel, you know, it's just so much excitement. I think if you talk to anybody, no matter what class it was, there was just this excitement in the air about a change in our sport that was bigger than we've ever had, and they lived up to it. It was great. It's neat to do an interview and to hear the echo, and there's no longer PA talking to you or whoever it is down at the other end and separately talking to TV. I was doing the interview in the semifinals, and I could hear the crowd and hear the echo as they played it live, and whatever delay that was. And it's weird, but it's the way it should be. And it's been a long time coming, but Peter Clifford, everybody in NHRA, it just really, it lived up to the hype. And what better way than to be the funny car driver that got to get up there and get all that TV time. That was cool. I got the best team in the business, and they gave me a great race car. There's no whole shot win without the car that we had. And in all honesty, I rolled it in a little more, so those numbers are skewed as far as reaction time. So nothing taken away from Dell. He brings every bit out in me for sure as a racer. He's a good friend and returning champion. So all that together made it bigger than a final round. I mean, that was big. And so if I can get a win any way we can do it, I don't want it to be overblown that it was a whole shot, because it was just those numbers are a little weird.
Well, it seemed like your car really ran consistently today, had a couple of stumbles early in the day like everybody did, but there really was kind of that turnaround run during qualifying where Ron seemed to get a grip on the racetrack. He struggled a little early, but that seemed to be the moment that this team really kind of came to life this weekend.
Well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were the only car to go all 3-second runs, all 4 runs in qualifying. Even though one was a 399, we had the belt come off in 2 of those, the 399 and I think the 397. So all 4 runs in the 3s. I don't think anybody did that this weekend. So I was quietly looking at that. I knew we had a good race car. Tobler and I have grown so much together. And it's like a marriage. And he really teaches me a lot on race day, even as long as I've been around driving. And it's invigorating to wake up in the morning and know I got a guy that is a racer like that. So we had a heck of a day. I mean, look, the people we had to race was crazy. Robert Height in the semis was like a final round, racing those guys. It's just great weather, and the grandstands being as full, it was sort of weird because this weekend's been a little bit off, you know, as far as the grandstands. It's Southern Cal, and there's a lot to do. But to come around the corner on a Sunday, and it's Valentine's Day, and the grandstands were packed. So there was either a lot of women that came out, or a lot of single dudes came out today and just filled the grandstands up. But it was full, and there were a lot of women out. So I mean, kudos to guys bringing their wives and girlfriends out, and more so for all the women that came out with their significant others on Valentine's Day to spend the day at the drag races. Is pretty cool, and that teaches you a lot about relationship for sure. But what a great day! Bob Gant from Napa's in the house. He's going to retire this year, but he's been with Napa over 42 years, and he is the reason that this Napa car is in drag racing, and so we're glad to be able to share this winter circle with him.
Hey, when did you find out about Chase?
We were watching Fox Sports earlier today, not to drop a name, but it was on Fox Sports, Fox Network, and Paul Mecca, who handles our sponsor relations, came over and said, guess what, Chase in the 24 car, Jeff Gordon's, got the pole. I mean, what a story. So I'm like, oh man, I was going to tweet him and say, way to put the pressure on, man. But I didn't want to jinx ourselves. So as we kept going further in the day, I thought, man, how cool would it be to be able to have the Napa guys have the pole at the Daytona race, and then here win in Pomona at the other end of the country on Fox Sports 1.
How do you spell it?
And you can watch it on replay tomorrow, Ron.
Oh yeah?
So,
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You had a couple of mechanical problems, but you were pretty confident going into today's eliminations, weren't you?
Oh my God! Don't trust me. If I look confident, You can't be. I mean, you're confident, but you have all night to think about first round. And I've been doing it a long time, and I bet if you asked Dale Washington, who just won a championship here 3 months ago, he'll tell you the same thing. I talked to him before that day, and he was a wreck, but you need to be sort of in that wreck mode. One of my favorite football players, Joe Montana, all those Super Bowls, I got to ask him one time, how was it? And he was throwing up every morning. He was a wreck, and he went out and MVP style play of all those games. So I think that just kind of proves if you stop getting that feeling, then you need to get out of the seat. And it may look like I was okay on the outside, but you ask any driver, and we definitely we feel the pressure. There's a lot of pressure when you're given a great car like I have with the Napa guys, that you're the last piece of that puzzle. So it's sort of like, hey, everything's good, here you go. Do not mess it up. And so it's nice when you don't mess it up.
Additional questions for Ron Capps?
Is your mom here?
Oh yeah, yeah. I grew up in San Luis Obispo. She's been here all week. We surprised her last night. There was about 75 people that showed up. A lot of them from out of town. A lot she hadn't seen in a long time. It was special. It was cool. And she drove a dragster when I was a kid. She drove a front motor dragster several times. Everybody talks about Shirley Muldowney, but let me tell you, my mom was my dad's crew chief, and the altar that he had. She drove a front motor dragster when I was a kid. It was sort of normal for me to have that around. And my dad used to have a couple race cars, and he would put her in it, and just to piss the guys off, instead of him driving it, she'd go out there and whip them every time. So she's very, very involved in drag racing when I was growing up. She is a big reason that I'm even in the sport. I've always joked that I was conceived in the parking lot of Famosa Dragway at the March meets, which if you do the math, I'm pretty sure that it is correct. I'm sure there's a lot of kids that
There's a rain delay there.
Yeah, there probably was. The Fuel and Gas Championships did rain a lot. You're right, Bob.
What's her first name?
Betty. And she is down there. She was the first one to hug me. She was waiting. She's about 4'3", Portuguese lady. She's great.
Is it B-E-T-T-Y?
That's correct.
Okay.
And then they got you in the go-karts at the Santa Maria Speedway?
Yeah, they took me out to Santa Maria Speed. My dad was, he was a track champion there, and we've got pictures of her driving front motored cars, dragsters. It was fun.
And then did Alan Johnson make you sweep out his garage when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, I worked out in their barn when Blaine was alive. We used to go work in there when Blaine drove. They didn't have a big shop. They had a barn with a very cold concrete floor in the dead of winter, and we would work out there till 2 or 3 in the morning. And I learned a lot from the Johnsons.
So you said it's like a marriage between you and Tobler. Did you send him roses today?
I did not send him roses. We had something come up in qualifying, and we had a good talk. But it's moments like that where it is like a marriage. You know, I had these little things you got to get through, and sometimes you disagree on things, and it always comes down to the respect that I have for him and how much he teaches me still. As long as I've been doing it, I still feel that way. I felt that way with Ed McCulloch, with Roland Leong, all these legendary crew chiefs I've got to work with, and Ron's the same way. By the way, this is Ron Tobler's 50th win, I think, overall as a crew chief. I'm pretty sure, and that is big. That tells you a lot about who he's worked with, who he's and sort of brought up, and that's a lot of wins for a crew chief in funny cars and top fuel.
This is Shawnee J with RPMHD. I'm here speaking with the legendary one and only Ron Capps, who just won his title tonight. How are you feeling today, hon?
Well, legendary. I feel old now. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, legendary, which means that you're going to go on forever and everyone's going to know your name.
I like it. I like it a lot. Can you go on the road and be my agent?
Absolutely. You can hire me today. I have a question about these races. I know it's a lot of stress, and I know you guys go through a lot in order to prepare for these races. In the morning before the races, how are you feeling? What's the momentum like? How's your adrenaline coming into these races today?
It's the adrenaline's high. It really is. And not only do you feel sort of butterflies in your stomach, it's almost like bald eagles are flying around. You really are, you lose, you go home. And it's this kind of sport where you can't make mistakes. It's 0 to 330 miles per hour in less than a quarter mile. So there's a lot going on, and you really have to be on your game. But it's such a team effort. You've got 9 guys on the crew and me as a driver. So they give me a great car, and then I can't mess it up. So they sort of hand it off and say, all right, man, finish your job. So just a great team effort by all my Napa guys.
Absolutely. So how are you feeling about your car? Did you guys do anything different today? Any modifications to tweak and to get you guys across that finish line today?
A lot of tweaking. The crew chief, conditions changed. We had sun, then we had clouds. For us in our business of NHRA racing, that changes the track temperature. So my crew chief was making changes constantly, and I was just sort of, my only change I needed to worry about was whether my helmet had a clear shield or a tinted one, depending on how the sun was. And it was just a good team effort. I did what I thought was a good job in the car, but they gave me a car that I could win in, and the competition was just so tough. So great day.
Absolutely. So winner of the funny car races tonight. Do you think this win is going to take you to win this year?
Well, I mean, we're just one step at a time. I mean, it's great to win. This is a historic track and a very, very historic race. And on top of it, it's the 50th birthday of the funny car, 50 years. So there's a lot that this win here brings. And I don't think it's sunk in. It'll sink in the morning, but I don't think it's really sunk in yet.
Wow. You heard it right here. Right here from the Winner's Circle. Ron Cap talking about his big win. We're so happy for you. Congratulations. Enjoy this winning circle that you're in. I know you're going to celebrate tonight. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we go on to our top fuel segment, we actually followed up with some sportsman winners. Let's see what they had to say.
This is Michael Dennis here with RPMHD, and we're joined by our Super Comp champion here at Pomona Raceway. First race of the season, Steve Williams. Steve, talk about your day and how was it?
You know what? It was a great day, and I'll tell you what, you got to win 7 rounds to win one of these races. And yesterday in the 5th round, I broke a drive shaft, but I was able to fix it and come back today, and I won 2 rounds. And so we won last year in Super Gas, and we won this year in Super Comp. So for us, that's kind of a double. So I'm just thrilled. It was, and all my family's here. This is my home racetrack.
That's always a great thing, winning in front of the family. Now, when you break something like a drive shaft, what's the mindset going? Did you have any fear about making the next round, or what was your mindset going into that?
Well, I mean, you prepare for that, and a lot of these cars, we make them so they're easy to work on, and we have spare parts, but still, it's a thrash, and you're uptight because you're not sure if you got everything was broken. But in this case, we had a new third member and a new drive shaft, so we put it all back together, and everything worked perfect. So
now, for the fans who don't know at home, how tough is Super Comp racing?
Well, there's 110 of them out here, and I'll tell you, these races are won. Like that final, I won by less than 7 inches. So, and you're down there going 185, 190 miles an hour, and you're trying to take the win light or be in front by the least amount possible. And I mean, it's hard. You take your eyes off the finish line and look over at your competition. So most of these races are won by, just a few thousandths.
So when you cross the finish line, were you sure that you won, or did you have to take a quick look?
There's a light. If the fans look on top of the wall, there's a light so that we can see. So normally you look across at your opponent's light. If his light doesn't come on, that means yours is on because you're already looking sideways.
So how great is it winning here in front of the family and winning again?
And the fans here, all NHRA fans are great. But this is your home track, and they know I'm from here. They've watched my cars race here for years. So, I mean, it's extra special because, they're all cheering for you, and, you're giving them a high five. So it's great.
All right, thanks again, Steve.
You bet. Thank you very much. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. This is Michael Dennis with RPMHD, and we're joined by our super stock champion today, Dan Fletcher. Dan, how were you able to pull this one out today?
I just got lucky at the right time. The final I won by 1/1000th of a second. That's the way the sportsman classes generally roll. It's you win and lose every single week by 1/1000 or 2, and today I got lucky and I ran on my dialing with a 6 and a 7, and in the final my opponent broke out by 1/1000, and it's just a lot of hard work and preparation, and when luck and work and everything come together and it works out. But just thank the good Lord and peak motor oil. That's all I got to say.
Now, you say luck. How much luck goes into sportsman racing because it is so difficult?
Dude, people can say whatever they want, but I honestly would say it's like a third car, a third driver, and a third luck. Dude, it's just so much luck. Everyone's got good equipment. Everyone drives well. I'm not kidding you. It's, the deal. It's 1/1000th of a second win and lose round after round after round. So to have 1/1000 fall your way, or my son drove one of my other cars here this weekend. He was red 2/1000 first round. In the final, I won by 1/1000. It's 3/1000 for, it's crazy. So there's a lot of luck.
So when you crossed the finish line, did you know you won, or did you have to take a peek at that light?
Oh, well, in these classes, you never know. You can get there first and lose, and you can get there second and win. I got there second and won. The beacon come on, that's all that mattered. So, I was, I didn't think I was getting there by a couple thousand. I didn't. He got there by like 8,000, but he ran under 1. So I won. That's all that I cared about.
So Dan, you're a legend in the sportsman ranks. Do you care to tell your secret on how did you get this good and what keeps you going?
There's no secrets, bro. It's just a lot of hard work, and I mean, maybe I had a little bit of natural ability or whatever, and I work real hard at it. And there's a lot of guys out here that are just every bit as good as I am. I just do it a lot more, and I've done it for a long time. I'm old. I'm 50 years old, so I mean, this was my 95th win in NH racing, so I'm pretty proud of that. I want to get to 100, but there's no secret. It's just discipline and focus and preparation and hard work, just like to be good at anything.
Now, with 95 wins, does it ever get old?
Well, the winning don't get old, but the dragging your ass all over the country gets old.
And with 95 wins, how many classes have you won in?
I've won in 4 at this point. I've won in stock, super gas, and comp eliminator. So I want to win in super comp. I'm going to drive someone's car at Vegas here in another month or two. But I'm happy to win in this car. I've always had a '69 Camaro stocker, and I got this new Camaro from Chevrolet Performance a year ago, and I've won 2 nationals with it now. Hopefully, I win some more.
The '69 Camaro, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a story behind that. You guys bought that car originally straight off the car lot, am I correct?
Yeah, the super stock car, my dad's car, it was bought brand new, driven home from the dealership, been a race car its entire life. It had 10 miles on it, from the dealership to the house, and it's been a race car since day one. And that's one, by itself, it's 150 of my 95. So I'm pretty proud of that car.
It's old glory for you then.
Oh, absolutely, bro. I'd never get rid of it.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot, Dan.
No
I really
worries,
appreciate
man.
it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
This is Michael Dennis with RPMHD, and we're here today with Johnny Lindbergh, alcohol funny car champion. Johnny, how big was it to start off the year this way?
It's good. We started this year, or last year, exactly like this, and then we won the championship. And in Europe, we say if you win the first race, you win the championship. So it's pretty good.
How difficult was it today to pull this victory out?
It was hard. Everybody running so hard, and I got some luck in the semis. I smoked the tires, but the other guy red lit, so I had some luck. But you need luck to win sometimes.
Now, when that happened, did you see the red light, or did they have to tell you when you crossed the finish line?
No, I saw the red light right at the starting line, so that was really good.
That's always a good thing. So you start off the year with a big win here. You couldn't be any prouder. How's that do for momentum and confidence for the rest of the season?
It's always good with wins, for the team and myself and my sponsors and everything. So we do our best all the time, and win is a win. It's good.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm Tesh. We're here with Sean Cowie, who just won the top alcohol dragster. How does it feel winning the first race going into the season?
This is awesome. Dream come true. Way to start the year. Got 85 points to start, and let's see what the year brings us.
Awesome. The fans are loving it. Okay, so the momentum going into the next race. Are you pretty excited? You got anything you want to change? Anything you want to tweak?
We always change things and tweak things. You always got to go faster. You got to stay up. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so we love your car. Tell us your favorite thing about your new car. What's going on?
It's my crew that I love. They're the guys that put it together, and I'm just the guy that gets to have the fun and drive it. So I owe it all to them.
Thanks for stopping by. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
We caught up with a few of our top field drivers. Let's see what they had to say about the Phoenix testing and their mindset of going into the new season.
Hi, this is Connie Joe. I'm with RPMHD, and I'm here with Terry McMillan at the Winter Nationals. How are you doing today, Terry?
I'm doing a great day. I mean, it's the first race of the year. It's Pomona. The weather's been fantastic. The crowd is awesome, and we're just really excited to get this whole program going today. I mean, it's Sunday. It's race day. This is what it's all about. It's what we all work for all winter long, and we have Tony Schumacher first round today. We're third pair out, and we got our work cut out for us. But my team and myself, we're all ready for this, and we want to go to war today, and hopefully we come out on the right side.
Now, Terry, you've been around here for a while, and you've never...
So you're calling me old?
No, I'm not calling you old. But what keeps it going? What keeps that drive going for you?
I think once you get to the race and you start hearing these cars, run, and it just starts pumping adrenaline, and then certainly hanging out with the fans. I mean, the nice thing about our fans, one thing is that no matter if you have a good day or a bad day, they're here to support you. They're here to just let you know that they really like our sport and they enjoy what's going on. So. I want to leave our pits open, let them come in and enjoy it. And so when I get to interact with everybody like that, and then certainly get the opportunity to go out there and hit that car and go 300 mile an hour, what could be better?
Now, have you made any adjustments to the car or to your driving style for this year's competition?
Well, it's a whole new operation. We changed everything out. We got a DSR chassis this year, and and we made a lot of changes. So we went to Phoenix, tested, we had a decent test session, and we tried to pick away at a couple things here because we knew there was only 16 cars, and we were trying to do some stuff on the clutch setup for the early numbers because the car's trying to run 70s, it's just not doing it in the first 60 feet, and our goal was to fix that. So, we didn't get that accomplished yesterday, but we're back to our normal setup, and I know with our normal setup we're going to run a low 80 something. So, we're just going to make sure we go down the track, not make a mistake, and if he does mess up, we're going around him.
Great. And what got you into drag racing in the first place?
I mean, back in the day, now you're going to really find out how old I am, but it really, when I grew up in the muscle car era. So everybody had muscle cars, and all the girls were with the guys with muscle cars, and I'm thinking, man, this is not a bad gig. I'm going to do this. And so, I kind of bought my first car when I was about 13, and, I finally got to race at US 30 back in Chicago area, and I never looked back. I mean, I've never been at it full-time, as I raised my family, but eventually the last 20 years I've been out here full-time doing it in, on the IHRA and NHRA side. So.
Awesome. Do you have anything to say to your fans or your family or anything to add for today's race?
Well, I'll tell you what, watch NHRA at Fox Sports, Fox 1, because I'll tell you what, we're going to bring a program to you this year that's going to be excited. But most of all, the Amalie Motor Oil Top Fuel Dragster. Check it out. We're coming at them. We're going to give it all we have. We changed the name this year to the Exterminator, and then the reason for that is Exterminate. We want to eliminate the competition. That's what we're here to do. We're going to start it here this weekend.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Terry, and good luck with your run.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Hey, we have Dave Connolly here with C&J Energy Services, Top Fuel. How are you doing today?
Very good. You nailed that one. No, it's beautiful. Obviously, it's the beginning of the season, first race. We got one run under our belt, and didn't go quite as accordingly to plan, but that's why they give us 3 qualifying runs. And you know what? It's 80 degrees out here in California. First race of the year. We're pretty optimistic about what 2016 holds.
Okay, so since it's your first year, or this is actually your second year, what are your expectations going into to this season?
We actually went winless last year, so we're trying to change that and obviously get my first win in Top Fuel. So, expectation-wise, that there's no reason that this team can't compete for a championship. I mean, we got Jason McCullough. He come from Alan Johnson for many years. Ron Douglas from Courtney Force's car last year. So, you know what? They're more than capable of winning races. It's if the driver can do his part, I think we can do a lot of good this year. And you know what though? It's that part of the season where we're very optimistic, but we got to be realistic too. There's a lot of tough teams out here, and we're just gonna have to dig a little deeper. That's all.
That's awesome. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nope. Just looking forward to qualifying number 2 and try to get this thing A to B and under power the whole way and try to go 330 mile an hour.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Connie Jo Sechrist with RPMHD. We are here at the Winter Nationals with Brittany Force. Brittany Force, how's your runs going so far?
It's actually been great. We've had 3 great runs. Race car went down there every single time. Yesterday ran a 79 and then followed it up with a 75, ran an 80 today, so we're very happy about that, very excited. And we get one more. We're trying to step it up there just a little bit, and we'll see how tomorrow goes.
And how has it been transitioning with Alan Johnson's equipment?
It's been great. He came on board, and we're very excited to have Alan Johnson on board, teamed up with John Force Racing. And I've worked all off-season with Brian Houston, my new crew chief, and they've been great to work with so far. Made a lot of changes in the car, definitely feels different. So I'm glad we went out to Phoenix last week and did some testing, and I definitely needed that. We made about 11 runs, and I needed every single one of those runs to get me ready to come out here. But I'm really looking forward to the season and anxious to see what we can do together.
And have you changed any of your driving style compared to last year?
Nope, I do exactly the same thing. I'm very much I like to do routine. I like to find my routine and do the same thing every single time, and that's what helps me out. That's what makes me feel comfortable, and that's what I'll be doing in a little bit when I go up.
Awesome. Now, you're practically your whole family is involved in the racing. How is that to you? Does that excite you?
It's definitely nice. It's a blessing having them out here. Sometimes it gets tough. My dad's my boss, but my father, so sometimes we struggle to find that balance, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It would be tough for how much we travel, how much we go on the road, in and out of airports, hotels. Mostly men are out here. There's not that many females, so it's definitely nice to have my family there with me, just along for the ride, have their support, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, and being a female driver, do you feel like you get enough female fan support here?
Absolutely. there's a lot of fans back here. Hey guys! And it's great to have them come out. I have girls that come up to me all the time, even little girls that come up and say they want to race, and they're in junior dragsters. So it's awesome to have those fans. Obviously, a lot of my fans came over from my dad, followed my dad for years, and so now they're Team Force, and now they're over here watching our Monster Energy car. So it's pretty exciting. I'm very lucky to have them all.
Awesome. And as a girl's perspective, we're always wondering, like, what kind of makeup does she wear to keep that, because you're sweating in that uniform all day and you still look beautiful and gorgeous. Like, what kind of cosmetics do you use?
Well, I actually have a variety. I think I've tried it all. The biggest thing I do, my mom taught me since I was a kid, is wear sunblock. So I always wear that tinted sunblock, and I think it's L'Oreal.
And yeah, because us girls, we want to look good, we want to look beautified and stuff like that, and you always do, even though you're out there sweating. And if you could take your car anywhere internationally and race it, where would you go?
Oh, I'd have to say Australia. That's where my dad went racing, and that would be pretty awesome to go there.
A lot of people have been saying that today. I think we should do a whole event in Australia and get everybody out there and just race. Yeah. That's awesome. And to the little girl fans, what do you want to say to them?
I tell them, if to go after your dreams, go after what you want. Doesn't matter, what people say. If people say you can't do it, I've had a lot of people going against me because I'm a female in the sport. But you can't worry about what everyone says. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. You got to focus on the positive and keep moving forward with that. If it's what you love, go after it.
I love it. You're very motivational. I love it. Love it. Here with Brittany Forrest at the Winter Nationals. Hi, this is Connie Jo Seekowitz with RPMHD. I am here at the Winter Nationals with Richie Crampton. How are you doing today, Richie?
Pretty good. Ready to start this 2016 Mellow Yellow Series, and qualified well, so I'm pretty excited.
Awesome. Now, Aaron Brooks was working on a new combination for you in the Phoenix testing. How did that go?
It was good. Testing doesn't always go the way you think it should, so we definitely threw some ideas out there, and some worked, some didn't, but we're back to where we left off here at the World Finals, and ran 3 pretty strong runs here during qualifying, so I think we got everything dialed in and ready to go for race day.
Awesome. And what are your expectations for this year in order to possibly win a championship?
Well, it's going to be another long year, even just looking at the qualifying sheet for this first event, every team's bunched up so tightly in the top 5, top 10 race cars. It's going to be real close racing all year long. So we're just going to have to work hard, and I expect that there'll be a lot of different winners throughout the season, and there's so much parity that it can be anyone's race on Sunday. So we're going to work hard for the Lucas Oil team and try and get some more trophies and see how we fare up at the end of the year.
Very cool. Now, what got you into the sport in the first place?
Well, I grew up in Australia racing go-karts, and just ended up going to the drag strip a lot with my dad, and man, standing in the watching the Top Fuel race cars go down the racetrack and shaking the ground and everything made me want to be part of it. And I've just been lucky enough to make my way over from Australia to here and landing a job at one of the best race teams out here. So pretty lucky to have made that step, and here we are trying to win some races.
And how do you feel today? You feel confident that you're going to do well in your run?
Yeah, absolutely. Super confident about how we're going to run today, but as I said earlier, it can be anyone's race today. So we got our guard up, and we're going to try and beat Troy Buff in the first round and see how we fare after that.
Cool. And then if you can actually take your car anywhere in the world and race it, where would you go?
I'd definitely take it to my hometown of Adelaide, Australia. I grew up watching racing there, and there'd be nothing cooler than to run 300 miles an hour where I grew up watching my heroes race.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that, Australia. So I've been to Australia. It's a very, very nice place.
Yeah. Well, hopefully someday we'll take a bunch of these cars over there and show the Aussies what it's all about. There's a huge fan base, and they're upside down right now with they can't watch this event on TV right now. So hopefully we'll get that figured out, and everyone will be happy.
Cool. Well, do you have anything to add, or do you want to say to any of your friends or family out there?
Nah, just normal deal. How hopefully we have a good, fruitful year for Lucas and Toyota and everyone, and thanks for all the support.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Richie.
We have Leah Pritchett here with Quaker State Top Fuel Dragster. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
How was your race today?
So today is Friday, and we've only had one qualifying run, and we smoked the tires right around 330 feet. Put us in the 12th spot right now, which is That's not too bad. I mean, overall at these races, you get 4 chances to qualify and set your final position. So right now we're in that 12th, and I'll tell you what, I mean, we're definitely going to up it, and we're about to leave the pit right now to go do our second run.
That is awesome. So it is your full season. It's your full year here. What are your expectations for this year coming up?
Absolutely, yes. This marks my first full season of racing all 24 races, and my expectations are they're humbly but pretty high, in the sense that this team right here finished 4th in the World Championship last year. So they obviously have the race car and the know-how and the crew chiefs behind it of being a very competitive car. I mean, they went to 5 finals last year. So that, coupled with all of the different types of cars that I've raced and all of my partial seasons coming together, my expectations are that we're not going to just get one, but we're going to get a couple W's, a couple Wallies, and be a very tight contender for the championship. And that's realistic. That's not too high or far off. Yes, we're not the biggest team out here, but I think we're the biggest hearted team out here, and we've got the funds and the personnel and the know-how just like anyone else. So that's my expectations, and I don't think you can't achieve your expectations if you don't have them. You know what I mean? You got to set your goals high if you're going to do something.
So awesome. And are you excited being a part of the Bob Vandergriff Racing?
I am. So Bob Vandergriff Racing is a tribute to the smarts kind of behind the business too as well. Bob's somebody that he was a driver too, and he built his own team, and then the light switch went on and he's like, look, I'm gonna put 2 kids in the car. You know, you got Dave Connolly, who's a badass in pro stock, and he obviously has proven to drive that dragster very well, and then him and I, we put our efforts together, and the opportunity came about for me to drive for him. And so in my opinion, I mean, we've got the best team out here from a driver and crew standpoint, and then from a leadership standpoint from Bob Vandergriff. I couldn't ask for anything more.
That is very, very exciting. Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, just I guess the fact that living in the moment and enjoying it. I've worked 20 years to get to this point, and just whatever it is that you have a dream of racing, whatever it is in your life, don't give up on it. And like I like to say that the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately, and we're hustling right now.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, of course.
Hi, I'm Shawnee Jones, and I'm here at the 2016 NHRA Winter Nationals. I'm speaking with defending champion Antron Brown. How are you doing today?
So I'm doing great. We're just out here at Pomona, kicking off the season. The Meliel season 2016's here. Just excited, pumped, amped, ready to go. And we're out here. We got to go out here and defend this title. It's going to be hard with all the competition.
Well, what are you guys going to do differently this year that you did in 2013 where you were defending your title?
Well, and I tell you what, one thing that you have to do is you have to come back. We put the work in on the off season, and we didn't take it lightly. We went right to work. As soon as we got done with the end of the race season, all the guys went back in the shop prepared. We got back on point, and I got back in the gym, hit it hard. And we just want to come out here on the right foot. The thing about it is getting off to a good start and not trying to make it up at the end of the season. And I think we're on point to do that, but we don't know. We'll see how we make out this first race here coming up.
We're looking forward to seeing you race this year as a dragster representing the Matco Tools, and we wish you luck this year.
Well, thank you so much, Sean. It was great being on, and looking forward to seeing more RPM out here.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
This is Shawnee J. I am here with Doug Coletta. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Thanks. Are you excited about the races?
Yeah, absolutely. We're just trying to get in a good qualifying position for the final race on Sunday. So we're kind of right in the middle of the pack right now, but we've got one more qualifying session today, and looking forward to moving up to a little bit from where we're at. And coming out to Pomona at the beginning of the year, it's just it's a new year. Everybody's fresh start and all rested up from the winter or whatever. But we had an opportunity to go do a little testing too. So. Just happy to be here.
You used to race at the USAC races?
Yeah, I did. It's the USAC series. It's sprint cars and midgets. And there's actually quite a bit of racing going on throughout the country still with the USAC series. It's a great series. But it's been a little while since I've gone around in circles with my buddies there with the open wheel cars. But happy to be out here at the NHRA drag races.
So NHRA has been lucky to have you since 1998. You've been a force to be reckoned with ever since. What would you say to some of the drivers out there who want to get into the race field and get a little skeptical about things? And, what kind of motivation would you help them with?
You know, if you have a passion for this sport, there's plenty of opportunity. But yeah, if you just got to get out here, learn about what's going on, and just if you have a passion for it, just get out here and make it happen, because there's opportunity, and and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, and I know that having a good sponsor is key. Can you tell me a little bit about your sponsor today?
Yeah, it's Mac Tools. They're a great company based out of Columbus, Ohio. So, but their parent company is Stanley Black & Decker, which is a very large business. So they're very diversified with a lot of different tools, and they're all independently owned truck distributors. So it's an opportunity to own your own business and go around selling tools, and then they support all of the distributors with training and tools, and and it's a great partnership. So if I wasn't driving this, I might even consider being a Mac Tools guy. It's a great opportunity.
Okay, so I know you came in second in 2014. What are you going to do differently this year as a bounce back?
Yeah, we've just got all of our equipment all freshened up. We built a new chassis from our new shop there in Michigan. But really, it's just having a great team behind you, and I really do have that with my Mac Tools team and Jim Oberhofer. He's nurtured the group of guys that we've gotten, and they do a great job, and we're all very hungry to do well out here. So I think we should be able to pull it off.
I think you can. How confident are you? Think you're going to win, or?
Yeah, I've won this thing just one other time in my 16 years, the Winter Nationals. So it would, it would be great to pull it off. Out here the competition is real tough, and and I love being part of it. So it's great when you can get a win out here.
Absolutely. Well, we're so glad that you took the time out today to give us an interview. We hope that you can take home a win. And I know you guys got a whole crew. You guys got a great team. And we wish you guys the success out here.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for coming over and visiting with us.
Thank you. This is Shawnee J, hosting at the 2016 Winter Nationals.
Hi, it's your girl Stephanie Warren Chigini coming to you from the 2016 Winter Nationals in Pomona, California. Right here next to me, I have none other than Clay Milligan, who is a 6-time world champion in the Say it louder.
IHRA. She was close.
Yes, I was so very, very close. All right. Well, today I heard that you had a really good run. You had one of the quickest ETs. But then at the end, I saw that you actually almost crashed into a wall. Is that because one of your cylinders almost dropped, or what exactly happened?
Well, let me just describe it this way. So the thing is really going down the racetrack. I mean, it's like going, and I was like,
okay.
That's what happened.
So you were just, it happened. So you kind of, all right. Okay. All right. That's a good way, to explain it.
These things, you just kind of get in there, mash the gas, and go. Mm-hmm. And you count to 3 and you open the parachutes, and that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're going really, really fast. I mean, I don't technically know what I would do in that type of response.
Okay. Honest truth is, we had a really great run. We actually had 2 really good runs today. We went 374 on the first run and a 372 on the second run. And yes, I did get over close by the wall. The car, we changed some wing settings on the car, and it seems to not like them. It's not responding to me steering.
Okay.
And we will fix that for tomorrow. But we ran really good. I mean, even though I didn't go straight down the racetrack, drag racing, you're supposed to go straight. I didn't do that very well today, but we got a really good race car, and we're excited for tomorrow. And
yeah, I can see your optimism. I definitely think you'll do good tomorrow. Yeah.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
That's good. My second question is, this is your second year on your team. Am I correct?
This was a brand new team last year. This event last year, we were absolutely brand new, and we were literally testing at this event. We did not know if the car would even start, basically. And so now we got a year under our belt. We come in here, we're much more prepared. The car's running really, really well, and that's kind of coming off of the end of last season. We ran really well. So tomorrow we're just looking forward to going rounds, because now all the work we've done during the off season was towards making the car go quicker. Where last year all the work was to get screwdrivers and wrenches and sockets, and now we're totally concentrating on the race car, and things are going so well.
So on a scale of 1 to 100, how would you say your confidence level is this year compared to last year?
Just confidence level is definitely 100 compared to last year. Last year it was probably 50-50 as to whether the car was going to start when we got up there for first round. But we got great people, and people are what make these things run. It's not really if you got the latest, greatest parts. It is people. People are everything, and we've got a great group of young guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I have one more question for you. So you are a top contender in the IHRA, 6 times world champion. How do you think you're going to do this year in the NHRA division?
Oh, I am just so ready for it. I mean, I raced in the IHRA. It's actually been a little while since we raced in the IHRA series. I won 6 consecutive championships over there. Been over on the NHRA side for a while, and I've got all this. The normal question I get from everybody all the time is, I won so many races in the IHRA. When are you going to win one over here? It's hard to answer. I've had, 8 final rounds, and we've not won one over here. But if I knew when I was going to win one, I would just take off 4th or 5th mortgage on the house and just bet on that race.
Yeah.
But confidence-wise, I think it may be tomorrow. I really do.
That's great. That's great. Well, this has been a great interview with none other than a good friend, I could say. All right. Thanks for tuning in to RPMHD. All right. I'll see you later.
Hey everybody, Tesh with RPMHD, hanging out with Steve Torrance on what is the last day of the NHRA Winter Nationals. So Steve, I saw on Instagram last night this picture, and I'm going to try to recreate it. And hopefully you can tell me what was going through your mind when you posted it. It went a little something like this. What was up with that?
I don't know if it was quite like that, but it was pretty close.
I don't think I'll ever be able to get it that good.
Okay. That was at the end of the run for Q4. We had just went 370 flat. We're number 1 qualifier, so that was just raw, pure emotion coming out, and we were pumped up.
Okay, so from future reference, that's the hashtag we just took first place. Face. I got it. So going into this next race, what's going through your mind? How you feeling?
Well, right now we're getting ready to go live on Fox Sports 1. So the car's all buckled up. We just warmed it up. No damage, routine maintenance for that lap, so we're ready to go. We got Richie Crampton next round, one of my good friends, but I'm looking to send him home.
Sometimes friends got to do that,
Hey, we're friends until we put those helmets on, and then we're worst enemies.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for letting us slide back here. We know you're busy, and you got to get back to kick some more butt. But again, we'll come back and follow up in a second and see how things go. I got a feeling, though. I got a good feeling. I can feel the momentum.
Means something good, so we're going to keep going. Hopefully we get to do this again soon.
Absolutely. Good vibes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody, it's Tesh. We're coming here from the winner's circle with Steve Torrance. He said he was going to deliver, and the man didn't lie.
Hey, we followed through. My guys gave me a badass hot rod all day today, and it just prevailed.
Awesome.
We had a good race in the final, but we got the gold man. We're taking pictures, and we're going to drink a couple beers tonight.
I was going to ask how you're going to celebrate, but in true Peyton Manning style, you're going to drink some beers.
We're going to drink a few beers. I'm not going to specify what kind or any name dropping on that, but we're having a good time. These guys have worked their tails off, and I'm glad to see it all come to fruition, so we're going to celebrate.
That is awesome. Well, I'm so excited for the win. I'm so happy for you. And now we're going to show them what winners do. Dab.
At the conclusion of the 2016 NHRA Mellow Yellow Winter Nationals with Top Fuel event champion Mr. Steve Torrance. This is his first win and first final round appearance here at the Winter Nationals, and what a big win it was, Steve. Of course, the emotion that you were showing there in the winner's circle here tonight, having your mom here to see that final, that first win, that must be big. And of course, with the new sponsors on board, this has got to be big for your team.
Yeah, all the guys at Rio Ammunition are super pumped up. My phone's already been blowing up, but more importantly, Mom's here, and that's the biggest supporter I've ever had, ever will have. So to do it on Valentine's Day means a whole lot to me, and I know it means a lot to her, and I'm happy to be able to share that. But we got a really good hot rod right now. I'm happy that that we were able to acquire Alan. We're sharing him with Brittany, and that car's coming around too. So to get this head start in the season, come out, qualify well, run well on race day, it's huge for us to go to Phoenix and have that momentum. I've never been in this position, and shit, I kind of like it.
I can imagine you do. I was just going to ask about four very solid runs during qualifying, all down in that 70 range, and then again today, regardless of the conditions out there, your car never seemed to miss a beat.
All I do is sit in it and drive it. Richard Hogan, Alan Johnson, Bobby Lagana, every one of those guys on that crew has not made a mistake in the last 2 years, knock on wood, and something may happen tomorrow, but those guys have given me an unbelievable race car, and today it just prevailed, and I did a decent job driving, but those guys, that's the people that put me where I'm at. That's the guys that pushed me to the front, and without them I wouldn't be here. So you got to just say thanks for that. Thanks for everybody that stood behind us, and people that are believing in us like Rio. Those guys have come on board, and it's a good way to open up the season for them too.
In the last comment you mentioned there in the winner's circle, it feels pretty good for the first time in your professional career to hold a points lead in Top Fuel.
Yeah, kind of like I said, I hope the season could end pretty quick, but you know, I'm really optimistic about this season. I feel like we got a good caliber of team. I feel like we can fight it all the way to the end, and we'll just see what it holds. But I mean, right now it's way too early to make any predictions. But I'm pretty happy leaving here. I feel confident in what we're doing, and I think we can continue to move forward and build on this performance.
Excellent. Questions from the room for Steve Torrence.
What's your mom's name and how's it spelled?
K-A-Y.
Yes.
She kept that symbol just for you?
Absolutely.
How much did any data sharing with JFR play into this weekend's success?
It's been a big deal because even at Phoenix we were able to kind of collaborate together, see what it was doing. There's still a few kinks in Brittany's car that we're trying to work out and just get them the same. Everything's the same parts and pieces wise, but we do have different chassis, so trying to collaborate there, get everything as close as possible. But I mean, anytime you can go to a racetrack and get twice as much data as opposed to being just a single car team, it's a huge benefit.
You had that a little bit with your dad, but now you're going to have it all the time. That's a big deal.
Right, absolutely. And then at some point in time during the year, we'll bring my dad back out. This is a family race team, so we got to bring Pops out and have a good time. Hopefully he doesn't show me up like he did last year, though.
You started off this year really well, but your momentum started building 3/4 of the way or so through last year. I mean, you know, somebody else won the championship, but it's like you're just continuing a run. Are you going to just keep building on that?
Well, I sure hope so, because we've really not made any major changes, but we have taken and just pushed where we were at and not been complacent with going 75 or 76, and we never have been at that level before, and now we've reached that, and we're trying to push a little more and a little more. This car's been unbelievable, and all the guys working on it have made it to what it is. I mean, that's Richard and Alan and Bobby just putting all three of their heads together, and that's the result.
You're now always been a pretty optimistic guy. Does this pump you up even more?
Yeah, this pumped me up a lot. I'm ready to go to Phoenix right now. I mean, just say it.
Additional questions for Steve Torrence?
I did it.
Were there any close calls today? I mean, that you felt were close? Or?
You know, I'm the kind of guy that I just have to tell myself to quit thinking and do. So I just got in the car and tried to do the best I could, drove it. I knew that they would have me a hot rod that would take care of business, and that's what we did. I went in and done everything I could to screw it up in the final. I rolled in a little bit early and double bulb Doug. I apologized to him down at the end, but I told Ron, and then Ron said, you know, this place is a little bit downhill, so I turned the bulb on accident, but stayed composed, kept focused, and I think we won by 4 thou, so it was a pretty close race. That was the closest one that I wanted. That's close as I wanted it to be. I'd have rather him smoke the tires.
You said this is a good weekend to be Steve Torrence, but did you get a vibe early before you got rolled in here that this was going to be your week?
I'm way too fortunate and blessed. I mean, every day that I get up's a good day, so I'm just happy to be here, thankful for the opportunities that I've been given, and you know, I've had a couple close calls with life and things that put stuff into perspective, so I'm appreciative of every day, and I live every day to the fullest, and today is pretty full of living.